And now stakeholders in the electioneering process have revealed that the just concluded presidential and National Assembly elections did not meet its requirement in women, youth, and people with disabilities inclusion. Hence, they have demanded a level playing field as Nigeria witnesses more elections. Speaking at the post-election press briefing in Abuja, the country representative, Westminster for Democracy, Adebowale Olorumola, said that as Nigeria seeks to improve its democracy, there's a need for all inclusiveness. Benedict Uko has more on this in this report.
At the post-election press briefing in Abuja to reflect on inclusive practices of political parties in the just concluded presidential and National Assembly elections, stakeholders have called for level playing field for future elections. The country representative, Westminster Foundation for Democracy, Adebowale Olorumola, called for more inclusiveness in politics.
Democracy remains, no matter what is happening at the moment, the best option of government that we have. And therefore, the need for everyone to participate and the need for everyone's voice to be heard is very important. We are not just looking at inclusive participation of youth, women, and the persons with disability in the process, but we are looking at the practices of political parties. How inclusive are they? How can we open up the political parties even more post-election? And how can we ensure and encourage that youth, women, and persons with disability begin to register and participate actively in political party process?
Lending his voice on the issues around underrepresentation, the Director, Democracy and Governance, National Institute of Legislative and Democratic Studies, Adewale Aderemi, disclosed the action needed to be taken by the 10th Assembly for more representative democracy.
Already understand that the philosophies underpinning any democracy, are inclusivity, representation, competition, and accountability. We are resolved, to make this a bread and butter issue for the incoming 10th Assembly. Whether they like it or not, they are going to have to grapple with the problem of underrepresentation in our body politics. We will make sure they do that, and we need to move as a people, to a more egalitarian, more inclusive, more responsive, more representative form of democracy.
Experience sharing on political parties inclusive during the 2023 general elections were also reviewed. The Chief Facilitator Equity Advocates NLB and Salome Eferemo spoke about the legal frameworks to enforce 35% affirmative action.
If you look at what the Electoral Act is, what President Buhari is leaving behind, and what governs the space of elections, women are not left behind. Women are included, and that's what also governs the political parties. So if you go by that Electoral Act, I don't think women or any other person will be left out. But I think the judiciary is supportive of persons living with disability and also women in politics. Review to upscale it, because like that court judgment that gives marginalized group minimum of 35% affirmative action, we should go and look at it so that we know how we can implement it.
Representatives of National Commission for Persons with Disabilities, the Youth Parliament, says conversations about inclusion need to move to implementation properly.
All the issues that we are facing today can be also traceable to non-inclusion in the electoral process. Meanwhile, inclusion, we add value to our electoral process. The Commission is interested in legislative representation, like the Prof have said, of persons with disabilities.
From the results so far, not many young people won elections or even given the opportunity to contest for elections at the various political parties. Well, we're not here to complain or lay blames, all of that, but to look for solutions going forward. What can we do to ensure that young people are ably and equally represented in our democracy? And I believe that as young Nigerians, we're ready, to be fully involved in the democratic process of our nation.
The discussion is aimed to promote an inclusive political participation of women, people with disabilities, and youths.